Oh. Oh, not the glow. He's so stupid.
I was like, she been in the beach. You didn't
I
tell me.
wish.
I ain't go yet.
Oh,
was
Lord,
like,
you've been trying to get to the beach for months
I
now.
ain't been to the beach yet. We gotta go to the beach. You like the beach?
I do.
Oh, we gotta go to the beach.
I just
then.
can't go when it's too hot.
Oh, we gotta get to the beach. I don't know when we're gonna get to the beach, but we gotta get to the beach.
When the rhythm hits that beat, let your body join it too. Take your seat, clap your hands. Take your seat, stomp your feet. Feel that sound from head to ground. Let it move you when it hits. Take your seat, clap your hands. Take your seat, stomp your feet. This ain't acid, this is real. This is high transformation.
What time is it? It is time for the Sit Podcast One, girls.
Yay!
Hey! Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top of the hour. We are here, and guess who's back?
Yay! And we got a special guest.
We
y'all.
found her, but we're going to talk about her a little later. Right now, we're going to talk about us. Okay. So, welcome to Sit Podcast One. I am your host, Sabrina, and my co-host is back in the studio. We found her, y'all.
Michelle, the Golden Link. Yay, I'm so happy to see you and Natasha and our guest Beverly. And, of course, our people watching.
Tasha, welcome.
Yes. Yeah. Welcome back to Golden Link. I hope you had a great birthday celebration.
It was amazing.
She didn't have no birthday celebration. She was in a witness protect. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm back.
She's back. So did you miss us?
Time. Of course I missed y'all. I watched you guys. You guys look fabulous, amazing. You were great. You were on point. I was like giving my little comments.
We saw, right? Tasha was like, Michelle sent 20 comments in the chat.
I was blowing up YouTube. They was like, okay, you should have just came and zoomed in. Like,
right.
But yeah, it was fun. I love the show.
You had a good time?
The show is amazing, yes. But it goes so quick.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Sabrina's like, oh, we almost out of time or whatever she said. I was like,
I couldn't believe it because the conversation just flows and it just kind of goes in so many, despite the fact that I spend endless hours doing an agenda.
Yes, we never look
and
at
topics. For some reason, the topics just go into amazing directions and keep the conversation flowing.
Because the show is very authentic and very not rehearsed.
Right.
You think we would do better if we like rehearse it? What do you think, Tasha? Like we
live. I think we still gonna be live anyway.
Right. So YouTube family, Facebook family, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you are live tonight, please click, share, subscribe. Tell a family to come on in because tonight is going to be literally juicy.
I heard
Let's
y'all was
talk
talking
about sex, baby. Let's talk about.
I thought that's what y'all was talking about. I wasn't even supposed to be here, and all of a sudden, here I am.
You needed to be here for this conversation. That's why. It is rated PG-13, so you can have the kids. We are going to keep it clean, but we are going to make it fun. Tasha, how was your weekend?
Oh, I had a lovely weekend. I spent some time with my children and their respective partners. And we went out to a seafood restaurant and had a wonderful time.
You know what? That's always a good time.
Ooh. My poor kids are allergic, but I love seafood.
Are they?
Yes.
Wow.
Seafood.
Well, my son is allergic to seafood, but he finds something. There's always some chicken or a hamburger.
Some steak or something in there, right?
Yeah, so he always find it, but he be looking sad over there. But it's good that his girlfriend, she's allergic too, so they kind of hobble together.
Oh, okay.
So we do
are
have
allergic to peanuts too, because my kids are allergic to nuts.
No, just seafood. Just my son is allergic to like allergies, the dander, cats, and seafood and shellfish. Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite places to eat seafood is at City Island, and I'm hoping that me and my family can go there soon.
Nice.
I like City Island.
You better hit us up so me and Sean can mosey on over there with you as well.
Absolutely. Hey, we might have to plan a date this weekend.
We should take a bus. I should do a bus ride to Nordic Lodge. My girlfriend used to do a bus ride to Nordic Lodge.
I haven't been there in so long.
Or you can eat lobster, shrimp, steak, and I mean it's delicious too. They know how to season it. So maybe we'll do.
Michelle, if you do that and my family come, we could sell out the whole bus. We'll go.
That, right?
I've been in Nordic Lodge once.
Well,
it's
let
nice.
me see, she dropping bombs.
Nordic Lodge, ladies and and gentlemen.
Right,
If you want to come, let us know.
I'm about to get this bus going.
Facebook family, YouTube family. Because time runs out so quick on us, because we are very chatty.
Oh yes.
We're gonna jump right into our first topic tonight, because I really don't want to take a lot of time.
Okay.
And we're gonna take a little time, but we have a special guest in the studio, and we're gonna talk about sex, y'all.
Well, wait a minute. Before we get to it, somebody told me it's either you're having it or you're not. So.
Are you having it or not?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know. Come on, Facebook, YouTube, tell us. No, okay, I'm just playing. You ain't got to tell me. I don't want to know.
Just keep it TMI.
Okay, so our first topic.
Well, before we get started, though, our Pookie is up there, our family member, and she wants us to give a RIP to Nolan Wells.
Oh, yes.
Sorry
oh, my
about
goodness.
that.
Every time I think about that, my heart just bleeds.
It's been a tough weekend to see the news on that.
Yeah,
so
his funeral
I didn't
was
want
today.
us to get...
Yeah, may he rest in peace, and condolences to the family. And
to his family.
Lift them up in prayer. Yeah.
Yes.
We just have to love on one another, protect one another. I heard too, some of the guys were saying that they're gonna be real conscious when they see other brothers with other people to give them that head nod. You know how we do. We give them that head nod.
Mm-hmm.
They said make sure they even maybe go and communicate and say, is everything okay? You all right? Just to know, to let everybody else know we're looking out for each other.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yes.
Poogs. Hi, Poogie. Thank you for joining us tonight. Facebook family, YouTube family, you're out there. We are live, and we are going to talk about my book.
Yes.
Rediscovering Your Worth.
Yay.
If you've purchased the book, I need you to bring it out so we can talk about it. Let me turn down my phone. Rediscovering Your Worth. Now, we went through chapter 1. We are on to chapter 2.
Wow.
If you haven't gotten your book, please go to Amazon. I promise you, this book is life-changing, is transformational. This book already has helped so many people. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. This is a tool for you to rediscover your worth, right? And what that means. But we're gonna get to chapter 2. And so chapter 2 of the book starts on page 30. Redefining. Hold on.
Enough. Reclaiming your self-worth.
Right.
Redefining
enough and reclaiming your self-worth. Very important, right? I have a question, Shell.
Okay. I'm sure I have an answer. Go ahead. What's your question?
Who defined what enough is in the first place? Often we think about, I'm not smart enough, I'm not successful enough, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not loved enough. So I'm trying to figure out who defined those things for us.
Well, I thought I was going to have an answer. Now, I really
How about
don't
society?
know. Okay, society. What about your parents?
There you go.
What about your friends?
What about your friends?
But really, at the end of the day, like I say all this, it makes me think, what about you?
Ooh.
What about
Well,
you?
I think we left out a key point when we think about society, because society is layered. What about cultural belief systems?
Yep.
And the number one leader of definition and defining practices, and I'm sure we'll get into this tonight, is religion and your religious institutions. Because a lot of people lead their lives guided by what their religion's saying, what their belief systems are that's surrounded around their religion. And that's, then you come in with the layer of the family and what the family believes and communicate to you.
And I want to drill back just a little bit when we talk about redefining enough. What is enough? Where did our thoughts come from? We talked about some of those sources. But when I think about it, have you ever tried to apply, or you wanted a job and you didn't do it because you didn't think you were enough?
No, I never did that.
That's good.
I always thought I was enough to. Now, did I always get the job? Maybe not. But I always took the initiative and said, oh, yeah, okay, this is going on. I think I could do that. I always had that in me to say, I think I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I think it comes from? In your book, right? You
Mm-hmm.
say on 32, page
Mm-hmm.
32, it said that the journey isn't about becoming enough, it's about remembering that you already are.
Right.
And you know what my favorite movie growing up, and I tell people to this day to watch it. My favorite movie, and I had this in my notes when I read your book a long time ago. See my notes? It said it reminds me of the Wizard of Oz movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because in that movie, it tells you have enough courage, you have enough brain, you have a heart. You have all these things already inside of you. So there's no need to look around because it's all within.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always very connected to the fact that everything I needed was within.
Mm.
Now, these outside things beat me down a lot, which spiraled me into a depression and this whole thing. Society can get to you and say, no, you're not.
Right.
No, you're not enough. But in me, I'm like, oh, but yes, I am. But it's like, but no, you're not. But I also wasn't one of those people like, okay, I'm going to show you. Now, to me, that's a difference. Maybe Tasha could talk more to that. Like, there's some people that I know, it's like, oh, well, if you say I'm not enough, I'm going to show you I'm enough. Now, I wasn't like that. I'm like, you say I'm not enough. Okay, but I'm enough for this, or I'm enough for that. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that.
Right, right.
So that's why I have tried so many things. That's why I became a teacher. That's why I became a nail license manicurist, because I always felt like I could do whatever I want to do.
Have there ever been any dreams or any aspiration or anything in your life when you sit back and think about it that you didn't pursue? Like,
Yes.
have you? Oh, what was that?
What you acting like my life in? I just
No,
turned
no, no,
57
no.
and I got 50 more good years
Oh, right,
to pursue
okay.
my dreams.
Okay,
But
okay.
you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. It's a nighttime talk show.
Oh,
I want to have a nighttime talk show.
I'm gonna be the Glenda the Good Witch. Boop, you gonna get it. You got it. It's already there.
I knew you was beautiful. Look at Glenda. She the good one.
Glenda the Good
And
Witch.
then it also reminds me, of course, we got to give a shout out to the Wiz.
Right.
So, but
Right.
but yeah, to me, those two movies, I think it really impacted me as a child. Like, I really would watch it over and over. I loved it. I even have the CD, the DVD, everything. I just love the Wizard. I used to have the dolls, the Wizard of Oz dolls. I used to have those. So I think it really was a healthy impact on my life.
Right.
And I think it helped me. It instilled those values in me at an early age that I can't seem to shake.
Oh, that's good. A lot of people don't have that in
Innate.
them.
It's like
it's
an
not
innate
in, right.
thing. Maybe Tasha, we need the expert to explain this.
Tasha, why do so many people tie their worth to accomplishments or relationships or appearance?
Well, I like to start with helping people to differentiate what Michelle said, because I think, like she said, I actually remember I have other highlighted stuff in my chapter 2 when I read, but I remember that sentence from the book. And I just looked at
Yes.
32 and I didn't highlight that, but I
love it.
absolutely do remember that that was one of the things that stood out in chapter 2 for me as well.
I highlighted
And I like how Michelle differentiated that when you know you are enough, you just know it. However, there could be circumstances, exterior dynamics that make you think you're not enough, but when
Right.
you know it, you know it. And I want people to be able to differentiate between that, because sometimes people know it, and if they are under extreme dire circumstances, then they start to believe what the external circumstances are telling them in the messaging.
Right.
But I think the answer to your question, Sabrina, is why do people tie their worth through that, is because there's a big confusion between self-esteem and self-worth. And you
Absolutely.
talk about that a lot in chapter 3 in the book, at the end of chapter 2, going into chapter 3. What's the difference between knowing what's internally you feel worthy about and what externally gives you a sense of worth?
Right.
And I think people get that really confused, because unfortunately, you meet a lot of people who didn't have the experience of watching a Visit of Oz or loving family
Right.
members, or beliefs that they were enough. So they tied it to the external, what I can accomplish, how do I look. Relationship gives people, well, more, well, people in general, because men get status from relationships as well.
Yep.
Status, how much money you make, what type of shoes you wear, what car you drive, because people are attracted to that, and you get that immediate gratification and validation.
Yep.
And so it's very confusing between knowing what your self-esteem is driven by and that internal belief system of knowing that, no, I'm worthy and I'm going to try this, and be willing to
take a
I
loss
don't like to
sometimes.
use the word fail, but
Right.
take a loss,
Right.
right?
Because
You may not get it.
can I say something? Because you're only failing if you don't try.
If you don't try.
Then
That's
that's the
right.
failure.
That's
But
right.
I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing is that knowing it, right?
Hmm.
Even though it's easy to say redefining enough, right? But you have to understand it. You have to know it. You have to feel it. And I'm just going to give you an example. And I've talked about this before. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And again, I remember I was working for this government agency, and I was, guys, you know how creative I am. I was just belting out creativity. I created a website for the agency because they hadn't had one. But anyway, for whatever reason, I kept battling with upper management. I don't know. I couldn't do anything right in their eyes, despite the fact that I had just moved from another team that gave me all the praises. And so when I moved to this new team, it was just a battle. And I couldn't understand why. And I started to get disgruntled, which is not like me, and shut down, which is not like me. But anyway, I had a conversation with God, right? And I said, you know what, God, this is not me. I need to know, why am I here? Why is this happening? What do I need to learn from this in order to move on? And when you begin to have those conversations with yourself, be still, because you will get the answer. So I just started operating normally. I came to work on time. I would do the assignments tasked to me. And one day, as I'm sitting at my desk with my beautiful view, God said, you're here because you don't think you're enough. And when I got that message, God, Holy Spirit, I said to myself, wait a minute. I am enough. You know who I am? Do you know who I am?
See, you knew, but they didn't.
I didn't know.
What you knew.
Obviously,
What you
I
know
didn't
now.
know I was enough because I allowed this stuff to happen to me.
Right. For them to
It
beat you
changed
down.
me. Right. And so when I realized what it was and who I was like, I'm better than this. Probably was better than them, you know? And so when I realized that's what it was, that I didn't feel like I was enough, the dynamic shift. Not only did I leave that agency, but I went into another agency with more money, closer to home, and I thrived in that environment because guess what? I now knew I deserved this.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I said that to say sometimes when things happen to us, right, it's not necessarily for bad. We have to stop thinking about the people around us that are doing it to us.
Right.
Stop. Like, I want people to stop that. And I want them to sit in it and try to figure out, why am I here? What do I need to learn from this in order to move from this? But if we keep pointing the fingers at everybody else, we are never gonna know the why.
Right. And what we can do is we can look at everything happens for a reason, and out of that comes a blessing.
Right. But
So we
again,
gotta-
it's about you. It's not about, because we get triggered all the time, right?
All the time.
Somebody will say something we don't
Say
like.
something.
Somebody will do something we don't
Do
like.
something.
I don't care how small, even when you're driving on the highway and
Right.
you trying to
Get a little
move into a
road
lane
rage,
and
yes.
somebody cut you off and now
Yeah.
right, road rage. You're being triggered. It is
All
in that
day.
moment you have to figure out, why am I
What's
being
the trigger?
triggered?
Yeah.
What's the trigger? Where's it coming from?
Right. And you're always good with that.
Yeah,
You tap
I always-
into that.
you always
like,
have to
well,
tap
what about
inward.
you? Right.
Right.
What's going on with you? So we're like, well, what about you? And I'll
Right.
be like, okay, let me think about
Michelle
me.
Michelle be like, da 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 da, and da da da. I said, wait,
Wait,
whoa,
wait,
whoa, whoa,
what
stop.
about you? What you
But
do?
the one thing we have to do too is we have to stop and breathe. Right? We have to stop and just sit in the moment. When you stop to sit in the moment, it does a few things. It brings down and Tasha could tell better than me. She's the specialist, but it brings down a lot of that. What is it, Tasha?
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
It calms your
It
nervous
gives you
system.
endorphins.
Yeah, it calms your nervous system. Yeah.
And it gives you a chance to kind of assess the situation
Yeah.
outside.
It takes you out of the survival mode because
Right.
when your nervous system is activated like that, you believe it's a life or death. So your body is producing cortisone
Right.
to help you survive.
Fight
and
and
when
flight.
you're trying to
Same
survive,
thing,
that's
the fight and
exactly
flight.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Right,
And so-
exactly. So you can't think. because you trying to survive.
And you know what? It's not easy. It really takes practice because our instinct is to automatically place blame. And so, or look outside of ourselves when things are happening. And it's not that it's a fault, it's not a blame. It is you sitting down and assessing what's wrong. My niece said to me earlier, she was like, I've never seen you angry or, yelling. And it's practice. It wasn't always the case, but I have learned to try to understand why I'm in that situation. And 95% of the times, the answers come to me and I'm able to
move past it.
I
love that.
In a positive way.
Yes. And I have two things I want to talk to Tasha about. I always say, in addition to the Wizard of Oz movie, that my family literally loved me unconditionally. Like, they poured so much into me. Oh my God, you're the best, you're beautiful, you're smart. Like, all this stuff was always coming at me. And I was a cheerleader in high school, so cheerleaders is cool, so like I never really had that part that I wasn't.
Right.
Like, I wasn't good enough. Everybody told me I was until I got to be an adult. Now, that's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, like, I was so poured into that. But what do you talk to that, Tasha, about, like, being spoiled? Like, I don't think, like, my family would say, oh, well, she's spoiled. Like, I don't think that that's being spoiled. I think that you're in a place, an environment, which I try to do with my kids, have that as their safe space at my house, because in the world, people are going to be cruel and mean. So when they come home, I want them to feel the love that I felt. Like, even though the people was beating me up outside the world, when I came home, I know I was good. And I know I was okay. And I know I was loved. And that's why I can say, like the Wizard of Oz, I have the courage and all these things inside me. I didn't really focus on the worldly stuff. Look, I didn't really. No, I mean, I was beat down so bad I had to go sit down for a minute in the hospital somewhere because it was just overwhelming. Yeah. But, like, so in a way, some people say, well, that's why you should make sure that you really, like, strict with your kids and not, because the world's going to treat them bad, so you need to make sure, you treat them that way too, so they'll get it, so they're not, whatever. It's like a whole thing. But you talk a little bit to that, Tasha.
Well, yeah,
I don't believe. I'll be quick. I'm watching time. I'm watching time. I got it in front of me.
Saying, well, they talk about sex, but no, I wanted to get to that point because I don't.
This will be the last. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the last comment. I don't think you can spoil someone when you're loving on them and nurturing them and teaching them social emotional health. And I think a lot of people get the difference because, especially in our community and coming from our history and legacy, some of us don't really know how to love and be that vulnerable. So we do spoil our kids because we provide them with unrealistic life expectations. So when you don't teach them life lessons, loving on your child, nurturing on your child, telling your child positive affirmations, pouring into your child. I was one of those kids too. So it's interesting that you got the word spoiled. When I got growing up, I was so conceited because I knew I was the bomb and nothing was stopping me, and I was going to do whatever I had to do.
Because that comes from people who don't understand what your worth looks like.
Exactly. And you believing in yourself.
Right.
I still
when you
get that
see it in somebody else, it'll come off as conceited.
Guess what? I got something for you, Tasha. We used to say, I'm not conceited, I'm convinced.
All right. Well, we're going to end on that note. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this Rediscovering Your Worth is going to get intense. And so we are going to move past this. But please,
I got one more thing I want to say about
hold
your
on.
book.
We need you guys to get the book because we're going to talk about it over the next couple of shows. So get the book. Come on, join in on the conversation. Hey, Poogie. Hey, May. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, guys. But one thing I want to point out in Sabrina's book, and this is very helpful to a lot of people, affirmations.
Yeah.
So one of the affirmations that I highlighted, it says, I am enough as I am, flaws and all, because nobody's perfect. So I'm not sitting up here saying I'm perfect and I don't have no flaws.
That's right.
I was just telling y'all the good part.
Right.
Okay, that's it.
I'm
right,
perfect, flaws and all.
Yes, let's talk about sex.
So what I got, okay, no, I don't, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce our guest. Her name is Beverly Perryman. She is known as the Spice Island Queen. Now let's find out why. Beverly, affectionately known as the Spice Island Queen, is a certified sexologist, sexuality coach, and relationship transformation coach dedicated to helping adults create healthier, stronger, and a more fulfilling intimate relationship. Known for providing a confidential, shame-free, and judgment-free environment, Beverly helped individuals and couples navigate some of life's most sensitive relationship challenges, including, this is a big one, infidelity. How do we go back? I ain't going back to you. Future. I'm just okay. Including
Let's
infidelity,
focus on Beverly.
betrayal, communication breakdowns, emotional disconnection, and intimacy concerns. Ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
welcome the Spice Island Queen.
Now,
Beverly,
do tell.
we are just going to jump right in because I've been waiting for this.
Yes.
Many people hear the word sexologist. Tell us, what does that mean? I don't want to assume. Tell the audience what sexologist is.
When people hear the terminology sexologist, the first thing they ask me is, do you teach people how to have sex?
Ooh! Lord, today.
No, I don't.
Well, I don't know, Beverly. In some sense, you do. Not the actual act of
Right,
it,
so-
but the emotional and cognitive
Yeah.
pieces attached to
So
it.
she doesn't teach
That's
the physical
correct.
part. You're right.
Physical,
Right.
right.
Physical.
Exactly.
No examples
But
of
that's
stuff.
how
Thank
they
you,
think,
Jesus.
right? I don't
We
give
trying to keep this
examples. I don't
clean.
go home and show you how to do
Ooh,
it.
ooh. Okay, so what? So if I came to you, okay, asking for a friend, if they came to you, what would be, how would you start that conversation with me? Like, I would come and I would say, I need help, being emotionally connected to my partner. What does that conversation look like with you and me?
Well, a lot of times what I do, I listen first, you know. People come and they tell me, he did this, he.
We just
Right.
talked
You were
about that.
saying,
Yeah.
You were saying that. Take
Right.
responsibility.
So what I do is I ask, let's not talk about him. Let's talk about you.
Right.
What have you contributed? Because we all do, whether we agree or not, that we have contributed to the demise of our relationship, right? So I don't want to hear what he did. I want to know what happened from the time he was all lovey-dovey and things was going to the point where you thought that things started to go downhill. And I was still here. He did this, he did this, he did that. Okay, I want to hear about him. Tell me about you. What have you contributed? Well, at first we used to go out and then, I got tired or the kids came along. When I ask for help, nobody helps me. So with my partner now, they expect me to come home if we both have a job, take care of the kids. And then after I do all of that, clean up the kitchen, he expects intimacy. By then I am tired. So that is like a lot of beginning to the
Where it's
demise
going
of
downhill.
relation. Right. Because you feel like, especially if we both work, you come home and you're watching TV and I'm doing all the work. And then if you're the type of woman who serves your husband, your mate, or whoever it is, and then you have to clean up after him. So it is frustrating, and I can understand that. But like, I don't want to hear his story is different from yours. You know what I mean?
Right.
But those are
So
all
you
the
got to peel
things
back
that-
the layers to get to
that.
How do we get here?
How did we get here?
In the first place. Okay, so now I'm sitting here and a friend said, I'm sitting here and the intimacy part of my relationship is now dissolving because I got to take care of the kids while he's gone. I got to cook dinner, clean the house. And
have a job.
I got a job, even though I work from home. But by the time he comes home, I'm so exhausted and I don't want intimacy. I don't want him to. Okay.
You know what? It's not that you don't want intimacy. You are too tired. And apart from being tired, the end result is I'm frustrated because I have to do all these things.
Right.
And you're not helping me.
So we talk a lot about problems. What would be the solution?
Right.
What would you offer them?
I
as
like
a solution?
solutions.
Have that conversation. Because a lot of times when things start to get sour or you don't like some of the things that are happening, not when you're upset, but have that conversation with your partner. Because a lot of times we as women, we wait till we get really frustrated and the conversation goes sour because it comes from a place of anger.
Right.
talking
And
about
so
too.
down
Well, I
now,
have question for Beverly that's kind of connected to the book.
Yeah,
Beverly,
and
because
everything she's
everybody know
saying is
I'm a
connected
therapist.
to the book.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a therapist, but I don't have your specialty. But people still try to talk to me about that stuff, right? And I'll be looking to send them to you. But one of the things that I find when I start to peel back the layers is, like you said, I think it's a big misconception that women get frustrated and they have feelings and they don't want to have intimacy, right? But what I also find in using language like about desires, that some people don't even realize that they have desires because they don't tap into them. And I'm wondering if some of that is kind of connected to not knowing your worth. Do you hear or talk with people about, because look, I'm gonna tell you, I've been married, well, I've been with the same man, I've been sleeping with the same man for 34 years. Can you believe it? 34 strong years. And I would have never got to the place where I was so frustrated I wouldn't want to have sex with him. I'm just sorry.
Right.
So he would have been in those kitchen cleaning those dishes, and he used to do bath time with the kids while I'm cooking the dinner,
And
do
that's
homework,
important.
I think
That's
that's
tag
what it
team
important.
and
is.
tag team and duties, because I know I had desires and I didn't want to be tired at the end of the night because I wanted to do what we do best,
I
right?
know that's
So
right.
I
Woo!
wonder around desirability that sometimes that what I find, at least in my practice, is that people don't even tap into that. I wonder if you see that as well.
I
Like they
do.
don't know what they want. They know what they don't want, but they don't know what they actually want.
Right.
And I tell you what that comes about, especially with women. We're not taught that,
Oh.
right? We just taught to suppress, even from young children, right? We are taught to, if we say we want this, we're like,
Oh.
I grew up, I'm Caribbean, so we're not talking about that. Oh, you're vulgar. You know, they judge us. So we suppress all of that. And I think I always say that we allow men to take advantage of us because the lack of knowledge.
Right.
So if you say you are afraid to say to your partner, even though you're married, that I want to do something tonight. I want to have sex with you tonight. We're ashamed to say that because
I'm
we are
not.
afraid, right? We are afraid of being judged because that's all we hear is the judgment.
Yeah, right.
Good.
And the
So
shame
that-
that,
so
and the
that
shame that
plan.
goes behind it.
Exactly.
So that stops or hinders a lot of people from
Definitely.
being free to explore, their partner sexually.
Right. I've had female tell me that their husband, mind you, have never seen them naked or take
Really?
a shower
But
with their husband,
but-
and they have to have intercourse with the lights out.
But I think that goes back to rediscovering your worth, and we will talk about that in the book as we move further along. And that's a good point. How do you sustain a relationship like that if you cannot be vulnerable, authentic, transparent, free? How does that allow you to be intimate in the long term? I think it hinders it, right?
I think it all boils down to everything we always talk about: communication, effective communication. You have to talk to your partner. You have to say, listen, I want this, that, another. And I think for young couples listening, I think the idea is to get everybody involved, to get everybody involved in the kitchen, helping cook, helping clean, that's what I would suggest.
I
Get
think it's
everybody
this
on board.
low self-esteem.
I was going to get ready to say, yes, they have to do the work on themselves first.
Yes.
Okay.
Because if I don't want
You
you
have
to
to-
see me naked, if you have to turn the lights out, what I'm telling you is I'm ashamed of
Ashamed of my
myself.
body.
And if I cannot stomach looking at myself, and I don't want you to do it either. But I think that too is a little bit unfair, right? Because if I don't want to look at myself, I certainly can't have you look at me. That's not conducive to a relationship.
Definitely not.
That's like saying, I don't love myself, but I want you to love me. That's putting a huge responsibility on somebody else that you don't want for yourself.
Right. And just imagine that your partner, your husband's not seeing you. What is he going to do? He's going to look at somebody else because he wants to see that body. He wants to see it.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Wow.
When I think about relationships and when I think about intimacy, I don't think about just sex,
Physical.
right? I don't think about just the physical part of it. What are some of the other things we can do in order to be intimate with our partner, even before we get to the sex part? What is
That's good.
Okay,
That's good.
the foreplay. You
Oh, the
come up with
foreplay.
Foreplay.
Tantric sex.
Yes.
Right?
What is it called?
Tantric.
Oh, tantric
sex, right,
sex.
Touch it.
where
Get your pens and pads, ladies and gentlemen. Tantric sex we're going to have.
Touch it.
right, that's it. See and don't touch.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
see how
so
you
talk
came
about that a little bit.
You see how
Unravel
you
that.
came in with them shoes?
I know, because I said we talking about sex today. I got to wear
She
my
pulled down
little,
her zipper and she
yeah,
showed
I
us
got
her
the-
heels, and I'm
I
like,
got
wait
my
a minute
heels
now.
with the tied up around my ankles. I heard I
You
got
in the
sexy
wrong
legs,
place
so
getting
I said,
sexy.
okay, it's gonna be look, go sexy.
right,
That
You
girl
can come in with a
song.
short dress.
So go ahead. Tell us what
short
that
dress,
looks like.
Your
Uh-huh.
appearance. That alone should be able to turn your partner on.
Right.
Here's my short dress, just show a little this and a little of that. You sit away from each other. Like I teach people how to do that. Candlelight. You on that side, me on that side, and the conversation, the sexual talk. What do you like? We have card games. Pick out what do you want me to do.
How about
tonight?
strip poker?
That too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm
You
sorry.
Ready for a game?
She said, "You ready for a game?" I digress. I'm sorry.
She excited.
Give me
Oh,
the fan. Give me the
get
fan, y'all.
fan,
Woo.
Yeah, those
She
are the
excited.
things. Oh,
Turn
yeah.
the fan on. Yeah, she
Woo.
excited. She gonna have strip poker. Okay.
That's a
That's a
I have
good
a
one.
lot
So,
of- I have a
no,
lot
but
of
in
card
all
games.
honesty, I
So
hear
let's
what you're.
get all the ideas. So,
So-
I'm gonna write it down. Strip poker. What else? So,
or the other thing is when your mate come in, you have a little box, one for you, one for him. What are we gonna do tonight? You just read it. There's a lot of things you can do to boost your relationship.
You know what I'm thinking? Leave little notes throughout the house.
That's
Yeah.
that's
like
what I'm talking about.
make it a treasure hunt.
If you have kids, you gotta block it up.
I ain't got to worry about that.
sometimes couples give little hints. Like
Yes,
maybe they
that's
want to
what I'm
light a
saying.
candle, and they say, "Oh, the candle's lit tonight. I know we doing."
Oh,
I
yeah,
like that.
Michelle.
I like
Little
that.
things,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Look,
And if
different
you have a
hints.
Our
bathroom
code.
in your bedroom, the note is sticking there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a little.
Nice
It's a
little
lot of things
to
you
do.
can do for
There's
I'll
so
tell
much. You have to be creative.
'Cause I've
and
been married,
we
too, for
are
40 years.
We
Well,
are
30 years,
creative,
sorry.
aren't we? As
I
women?
know I am.
Look, I've been together with my husband for 40 years,
Yes.
Very
but married
nice.
30. So we only been
Aw.
having sex for 30, not that 10.
Okay. Okay, we'll just skip that part.
But that has never been a problem. But the sex part, which is good. I mean, there's other stuff, but the sex has never been a problem.
Of course not.
So we talked a lot about couples, right? So I want to jump in, and Tasha, you can chime in on single people. There are a lot of, and the other thing we do a lot is we talk to it from a woman's perspective, but we got to also be fair to the men, right? So
Well, we get to that.
yeah, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
What are some of the things that men can do? Because women, they need to be turned on too, right? It's not just about what the woman can do for the man, which we always go to, but we're not going to talk about misogyny and all that other stuff. We'll do that later. But anyway, what about single people, right? So you have single people who's been single for so long, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, 4 years, whatever. How do they tap back into their own sexualities? Because especially for women, class A type women, we call them boss chicks, who have maybe been hurt before or can't find the right guy, and now they're in a masculine energy and they've shut down, right? How do they tap back into their own sexuality to energy-wise? Because if I'm closed off, if my heart is closed off, I can't attract it. How do we tap back into that sexuality to bring it in?
It's difficult. It's very hard to do with those type of women, and it's not nothing wrong with them, but they've been hurt so much that
They're guarded.
And some of them pick the same type of men.
Yeah.
And
Or
a lot
attract
of-
the same type of men.
Same type of men. But I find with those women, they're no longer interested in men or relationship. They fall now that I have a good job, I can travel, I can do this.
I don't need a man.
I don't. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very hard because I started a podcast that healing our goddesses. And that turned sour real quick because that was my premises for doing that. Let's talk about women. Let's get over the past hurt and realize that we only been with 1 or 2 or 3 men, not all men, to feel that way
Right.
about all men.
Yep.
They weren't hearing it. I got a job. I
Wow.
got my PhD. I'm going to get my degree. And I had to shut that down because they was not on the same page as I was.
Right,
So
right.
it's very tough dealing with those women.
Yeah.
What do you think about some singles? What they're opting to do is to have a sex partner. Like they necessarily not having sex with all these other people, but just one person. Right,
but
having a sex partner.
The
if
thing
they're
is
single.
the trust.
Mm.
Women
They might
trust
cheat,
level. They
Oh.
always worried about, because if I'm with you, you have to just be with me. So if that
Mhm.
man is not with them, they always concerned about another woman, and that's from past hurt.
Yeah, yeah,
Past
yeah.
hurt. It's
Do you guys agree with that, though? I'm curious, Tasha. If you're single,
Well,
you
I
have.
think I think Beverly is tapping into something too when you talk about that, because what I see in practice is that a lot of times that becomes what they think is a solution to their problem. But back to square one, if they have not dealt with themselves and what's internally the problem, that solution don't work, right? So they
Right.
can imagine
Or it'll work
you. I
short
can take
term.
it.
short term.
That's a
Right, it's
short
a
term
short-term
solution.
solution, right? And I could take it even further than that. I work with some people who have come to me, and their solution to solving sexual problems is to have an open relationship or now become polygamous. And let me tell you, I just flow with everybody because my job is not to judge. But
Me
when
either.
you start digging, and I'm
Right.
sure Beverly experienced it, that's why she said it goes back to trust. You start digging and digging, and if they haven't really worked through their issues, those short-term solutions don't work.
Not to a
I've
long
had
term
people
problem.
come to me, yeah, couples come to me that they are polygamous and they're in polygamous relationship, and they come into therapy because the trust has been broken because they don't follow what the rules are. So if
Right.
you're not really following what the rules, were you really into it in the beginning, or
No.
was it a solution to another problem? And that's
Right.
what it turns out, that it was
Right.
a short-term solution for
No.
Right.
bigger issues.
It's a
Because I
new
know
no.
people
It's
that
a
have
newly
swinger
it's a newly
parties. I
created
don't go to
problem
them.
for
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
Like they have these
What?
swinger parties where they're like,
Or they turn to other
Yeah.
women.
Right.
turn to
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's becoming very prevalent now.
Mhm. But I
Ah,
think one of the things Sabrina was asking, to get back to that question, when you think about single people, when you started out, what are some other ways to practice intimacy, and what does it look like that may lead to sex or not? There's many different types of intimacy, right? So we got emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, intellectual intimacy, spiritual and recreational.
yes.
Those are things that make a healthy relationship.
Correct.
And when you can tap into all of those within yourself and recognize that within yourself, and then you attract partners that way, that's a whole lot of intimacy before you even get to the bedroom.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
mhm.
And you know what, too? I think what's really big is connection, right? I think that when you are connected to your partner, and that takes work. That's not, people want, I'm not judging, so forgive me, want to rush the process, right? So you meet somebody and you get that energy in the beginning when people don't realize it's really just lust. And you want to rush through processes, but you cannot rush through process. You really do have to take your time to connect with that person. And like Tasha said, on many levels, spiritual level, physical level, intellectual level, emotional level. And those things take time. People have to learn to take their time through processes. And when the processes go awry a little bit, people want to run, right? Because of past traumas. I'm out, it's not working.
But not only that, the judgment.
Yeah.
Single women get judged so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of them rush into relationships.
Yes.
And because I want to be married, because auntie or son just said, why aren't you married yet?
Yep.
You
A
know?
lot of pressure.
Right.
So-
Rediscovering your worth, right? Societal pressures.
Right, exactly.
If you get married, now you're worthy, but that's not really the truth.
Exactly.
You're worthy
Oh,
even before you get
yeah,
married.
but they don't understand that.
Right.
We're judged too much as
The
single
culture.
women. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Good
Something. What
conversation.
about
It's a
our
lot of
guests
pressure.
or our audience, or what are they saying, Sabrina?
Oh my
What's
God.
everybody saying about
Let
this?
me see. Is anybody
What are they saying?
let's see.
We got 10 people on YouTube, but
Okay,
I
what
think
are
they
they
just
saying?
listening because
They
ain't
just-
nobody
everybody's
commenting.
listening
Terry, hi
intently.
Terry.
Oh, we
Facebook
And
family,
They
YouTube
just gave them
family.
2 ears and 1 mouth.
Do
They
you
listening.
have any questions you would like to ask the Spice Island Queen?
She's the expert with.
I have a
sex.
question. And so one of the things we talked about was intimacy and what that looks like. But my question is, and I'm going to go back to the single men and women, not just women. You've been single for a long time. 1 year, 2 years, whatever it is. And I guess this might not be the right question. Would you advise
Say it.
self-pleasuring? Oh God, put the kids to bed. And again, I know you probably okay. Answer the
Just
question.
let it. That's enough.
Men do it all the time.
Blood clot. Okay.
Oh, that was a bomb.
So why? So why should us women be ashamed of doing it?
Right.
And
And
I promote it. Do you? If that's what it, light your candle, play your music, and do you.
and getting right.
Okay. I also sell adult products.
Oh,
Okay?
let's talk about that. Okay, but
So,
and
but-
if there's anybody out there who can chime in on some of these questions, give us a comment. Let us know how you feel about what we're talking about, because it'd be interesting to hear what the audience has to say about it. So let's go back to the
Hey, oh, is that my cousin
Let's-
Don from Down South? Hey,
Don Aiken.
Yeah.
Hey, Don Aiken. Let's talk about toys. See, let's talk about toys, and we're gonna keep it clean. We're not gonna say what they are.
No.
How did you get into the toys?
Okay, so I design underwears alternative to thongs.
Say that
that's-
one more time.
I design underwears.
Oh, you
ladies'
designed underwears.
alternative to thongs.
Uh-huh.
Because I went to my gynecologist's office and she has this sign that says "Don't wear thongs." So I was like, I was a little skinny girl. So like, why not? I never wore them. So I was wondering why she said not to wear them. She says because they're unsanitary and it causes infection.
Okay.
Back and forth. And so I was like, oh, I could fix those. Like, you have a creative mind. So I went and I created the alternative to them that goes under your cheeks. And so when my friend saw it, she says, oh, Candy had from Atlanta Housewives, she had just came up with her toy line and said, why didn't you do this? And I was like, no, we didn't talk about sex like that. You know? By then I was a shy little girl, despite. So eventually I did join her. I was one of her first group of consultants. So doing that, and I started doing the parties. Once I got comfortable learning the product and what they do.
So you worked
Probably
with
had to test
Candy?
the
Yeah.
products.
Oh, you worked with Candy.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
one of
okay.
her first group of consultants.
Wow.
Did you like test all the products?
You are so funny, girl. Girl, don't you answer
So,
that
okay,
question.
so-
Mm.
I just being
listen.
silly.
No. Truth is, if somebody came and asked you, just like going to the store, right, to a salesperson, certain product,
You
if
have
they
to know your
ask you, you
product.
have to know your product.
So she have to test it.
Right, so you don't necessarily, I can give it to sample to people and tell me what do you think.
Right,
That's
get their
testing this,
feedback,
right?
right.
So, but
All right,
But-
what's the next topic?
But so then with
Ugh.
that, one of the things that I find out with doing that with the toys, and I don't promote singleness with the toys. I always tell them what they can do with their partner.
Oh, with their
However,
partners?
right. So I'm not promoting
Oh.
singleness. I've never done that. However, if you buy yourself, this is what you can do until you get that partner. And when you have your partner, this is what you can do to pleasure both of you. Right? So, yeah, I don't promote singleness. We're not supposed to be single.
She said,
She's
we're not-
right, because our brains are wired to be in relationships. We're creatures
Right.
of relationships. Even when you look at animals, they have relationships. There's rarely, I mean, I don't know a lot about animals, but I sure know that there's not many animals that live by themselves.
Well, that's
So
one
when
of
you
our
think
basic.
about that,
That's one of our basic needs, right?
needs.
Companionship.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So.
Well,
But I think Beverly, y'all getting
Distractions
Beverly
are one
distracted because y'all talking fresh. I want Beverly to let us know, because everyone should know we talk to our guests before they come on. And I
Okay,
think
go
one of the
ahead.
things that was really touched my heart in being introduced to Beverly is that when you talked about that, what you were surprised about is when you started throwing parties with a lot of women of color, specifically African American and Caribbean women. That's what led you to becoming a sexologist, because you felt like you couldn't sell another toy until you could educate women about intimacy and sex. And I think that's really, really important,
that's
because I think when you find someone who is passionate about that, like she stopped making money till she got educated more, I think is very important to let the audience know that. But they was talking fresh, so they got you all
No,
distracted.
but listen, we didn't.
Okay.
It wasn't intentional, but we have a question.
Okay.
So, hi, Kimmy.
Oh, okay.
She said, what about self-pleasuring taking away the natural sensation that when you do meet a partner, you may have to incorporate self-pleasuring in your sexual experience, natural or mechanical?
Oh, that's true. You might like the toy
Oh.
better.
Oh.
That's why a lot of married couples do not want their wives to use anything that inserts
Oh.
the
That's a
vibration.
good question.
So, yes.
Thanks, Kimmy.
Oh, thanks, Kimmy. That was an excellent question.
We got any more
Ooh.
questions? Because that was good.
That was a good one. Oh, my
Yeah, no,
goodness.
a lot of the female who bought products said, "Oh, I can't buy this. My husband does not, or my partner does not want me to do any inserting." But they like the vibration because you can use it with your partner,
I'm
your
clutching
male
my
partner.
pearls. I'm clutching my pearls.
This is a good show. What else, Tasha, we got?
So, wait, I
oh.
have this question, and we talked about it, but I want to ask it again. Many
Okay.
people think intimacy begins and ends with sex, but intimacy, and correct me if I'm wrong, is also holding hands, hugging, laughing together, feeling emotionally safe. That's a big one, and feeling seen and valued. But one of the things I think I read in your bio, your extended bio, was that energy plays an important part of that also. Can you explain the energy piece of it?
Just being able to be yourself, be able to laugh, be silly, and not being judged.
Yes.
I think that's a very important relationship, because I like to be silly when I want. I don't want to always be serious, and I don't want my partner to judge me because, oh, you're stuck up, because that's how we geared it, right? When we have that bitch resting face, right? Or I can't, and I should be able to play with my partner the same. I should be able to joke around with you. That's the energy. I want
that's
you to
the energy.
feel how I am, right? This is me. Because I meet a lot of women who are, when they're out with their girlfriends, they're so different than when they're with their husbands or their partner. They can't be that same person, right? You have to be prim and proper, and you got to eat with your fork.
No, I'm not
and you
doing
gotta do
that.
We're not doing that.
No.
You suck that chicken bone with your hand.
The
you do
way I
whatever,
be
right?
with you is the way I'm going to be,
That's
right?
exactly.
Exactly.
So they have to accept all of you, including that energy,
And
good
the
or bad.
flaws, right.
Yes,
But you have to accept that in you first.
of course.
Rediscovering
Because
your worth.
Because that's who you are, right?
Read the
You
book,
have that high
y'all.
energy.
Yes.
And that's why I suggest young couples try to marry your best friend. You know, I'm not talking about girls. I'm talking about, your best friend, your best guy friend. You know what I mean? If you're a girl, I think if you develop a friendship with that person first, I think that's a really healthy marriage, because then it goes back to what you're saying. They're going to always be themselves, because they're not trying to impress. They're not trying to look prim and proper and say, I'll just have the salad. They're like, all right, let's get some steak, some hot wings,
Well, you know, Michelle, I agree to that, but I work with all different type of people, and then I think people who do date same sex as well, I think the same prism is hold true,
Right,
because
right, right.
relationships
Yeah,
are
I
relationships.
I was just saying, you're right.
Yeah, no, I know what
To
you were
be a
saying.
friend,
You were
to be a
trying to give
friend.
women that option that they
Option,
can have a friend in a man, and
Right,
that should
instead
be your
of
best
just
friend. My
being
husband
like
is actually my best friend too.
Instead of being like a
Yeah.
sex partner.
Hey,
Right.
Janine.
Right, exactly. Got it.
Janine
Because
said-
I know.
Janine said she married her best friend, Tasha, and I didn't mean to
See?
cut you off, but I want to go back
Yeah.
to that. You said you and your husband was your best friend. When you
Yeah,
guys
it's-
started the relationship, was that the premise of it, or did you start with dating in mind? You get where I'm going? Cause
No, that fool was chasing me down to be his wife. He was already trying to take me down the aisle. And I was like, wait a minute here, sir.
He knew what he wanted.
Right.
And he got it.
right.
But
Yeah.
they say that about men. Some men,
But he learned me really quickly, and he accepted me for all my
All your
good bad,
flaws,
because I could
right.
be a little piece of work here,
Right.
and
Right.
he ain't never give me no problem.
Right.
So
The
we
good, bad, and
quickly
ugly.
became friends.
Right.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying as friends.
But
like,
I
they have to
think the
accept you.
important part was because you never wavered from who you are. And
Exactly.
and it was basically either take me as I am or not. But he wanted you so bad that he was willing to accept flaws and all, because you a piece
Oh
of
yeah,
work.
yeah. He loves me. I crack him up.
But what about the point where maybe you initially meet someone and you're a certain way and you guys grow different? Like, you're not growing the
that's
same.
challenging.
So that could be a challenge too when
that's
it comes.
why people divorce and separate.
She said that's why they
But
divorce.
but
I love that.
but wait a minute.
Bomb on that. Oh,
But wait a minute. Oh hell no. But to your point, if they did the work, right? Because we always want to give up, but something brought us together in the first place. Now I'm not talking about anybody who's abusive, narcissistic, or things of that nature, but if you were together initially, and let's say you lasted for 20 years, and you know what, I'm done, I can't take it, there's a possibility that marriage could be severed. I mean, not severed, could be mended if you did if you did the
agree.
work.
That's why I talk about what I do. Yes, it can be, but the thing is, they don't have the conversation, and a lot of times people wait too late, and that's what I tell them. Don't wait till the house burned down to come to me, okay?
Yeah.
When you see those little smoke, then you come to
Yeah.
me, because by then it's too late. You already made up your mind.
Yeah.
I tell you, you know what? When I started this, my name was Spice Island Girl. Okay, I had this couple. The woman came to me first, and then she got her husband. He came. He's like, "You can't do nothing for me because you no longer have a husband."
Oh, no.
It's like, okay. So she's talking to him into coming. It's like, no, 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 no. So I was like, okay, if you decide, call me and let me know. She called me back. He called me back like 3 months later.
He called you back.
He called me back. And at the end, they were in the midst of getting a divorce, but she wanted to save it. He was like, oh, I'm done with this. At the end, he said, I still have the letter that man wrote to me.
Oh.
He said, you know what? I apologize that I misjudged you. You know what? You know no Spice Island girl. You need to change your name to Spice Island Queen. That's when I changed
Oh,
my name.
wonderful.
That's beautiful. So
Nice.
you're
I
saving
had-
marriages.
yes.
Saving marriages, yeah. I
because
mean,
he doesn't understand. Because see, I'm one of those, like, don't come to me with scrap. If you don't want to hear the truth, don't come to me, because I'm not sugarcoating.
Yeah.
You come to me like, what have you done? That's how I approach my client. Don't come
Yes.
and tell me he or she did.
Right.
I only
Right.
know what you did.
Right.
Okay, how was your marriage then? How was your relationship then? Okay, so what happened? And why did
I
this
love it. I
happen?
love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
That's
so
good.
I'm not like, not judgmental, but
Right.
don't tell me. Let me know your part. Okay, so men would say to me, you know what? When I was dating her, she was all sexy, wore nice underwears, and we had any place in the house. After we got married, I have a headache. The granny panties. They don't want to hear that. so those are the things that start to break up your relationship. You
Right.
have your head tied, rollers in your hair, or what have you.
Right.
And when I'm asking, well, can you do this tonight? Oh, I'm tired. I work all day. That's beginning separation.
that's
right?
the beginning of it. So
Right.
if we talk about it, and that's one of the reasons why I do appreciate counseling before marriage, because
I think that's very good.
it
I
addressed
think
some of
that's-
those questions. I knew this girl. She was married, and they had been married for a long time. And she said when they got married, the one thing her husband asked her is, "Whatever you do, don't gain weight, because I like you at this size." And she thought that was fair, and she, made sure she ate healthy, ran, because as we get older, we gain weight. She looks good, but we're running out of time. But I just want to say this
But
really
do you
quickly.
think that's really fair for somebody to tell you not to gain
Listen,
weight?
whatever works in your marriage works in their marriage.
Okay. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
which-
So and then you know what? There's counseling before, doing, and wow,
Right.
so it
It's
won't be a
what-
after,
right?
right?
And
Yes.
it's whatever works for you.
You know
y'all.
what? That same man that I talked to, right? The one thing that he ended up saying, you know what? That he told his wife, never go to bed mad.
That's
Whatever
right.
it
A
is.
lot of people
So
say
what's
that.
the difference?
And
A
he
lot of
says,
people
if
say
you're
that.
mad and we get up in the morning mad, none of us going to work unless we solve our problems,
Yes,
because the
that's
job
good
is not
advice.
that important.
Okay,
Right.
running out of time.
We run out of
But I
time?
got to
Oh
say
my
this really
gosh.
quickly.
Go ahead.
And Facebook family, YouTube family, I love you. Thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank you
joining.
so much for
But I
watching.
just also want to say research has linked satisfying sexual relationships, healthy sexual relationships. I'm not talking about those one night stands. I'm talking about sexual relationships. It reduces stress. You get better sleep. You lower your blood pressure. Improve your moods, stronger emotional bonding, greater relationships, increased feeling of connection. So
So that's why we should have sex.
not me
100%
and you,
correct.
but I mean,
me.
you looked at me dead in my eye like, what is going on?
That's why I said before, girlfriend and boyfriend, because I ain't want her to think.
She
of
looked
what
me
you
right
said
in my eye. Talking about
That's why,
something.
like,
That's
not
why
you,
we
girl.
gonna
No,
have
but
sex. No. Okay.
you know
I
when
know
you
what
having
you
no
mean.
sex.
I know
girl.
what you
That's
mean.
a
I'm being
fact.
funny.
All right.
Correction. You are
Right.
correct. You are
Yeah.
correct.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Facebook, YouTube, tonight's show was amazing. We're
It
going to
was,
talk
it was.
more about sex, but clean
I gotta
sex.
say something too. And two, we talk about songs too on our show.
Mm-hmm.
I think songs help people too talk about sex, like Salt and Pepper. Let's talk about sex,
yeah.
baby. Like all that stuff.
We should, and we shouldn't be ashamed to talk about it with
Right.
our partners.
We
Right.
shouldn't.
We shouldn't be ashamed, and if we are, we got to look deeper into the why.
And you will never be my sex partner. Just be clear.
Well, why don't we ask Beverly, what's your favorite sex song, Beverly?
You have a sex song, but that's another thing. You play the music. This could be like a
Yeah.
that you don't have sex. You like press play and that be that song. Everybody know. Go ahead, Barry. What's the
What's your
song?
favorite, ladies and gentlemen? What's your favorite sex song before we leave?
Oh my God.
Drop it in the chat.
Barry, like you ain't tell me we was gonna ask me that
Oh
question.
God, I don't.
I have so
favorite-
Turn out the lights
Yeah, that's
and
it.
light
I like
candles.
Luther.
Okay,
Luther?
I like Luther.
I like Turn Me On.
turn me on.
Who sings that?
Tevin Campbell.
Oh,
Oh,
Kevin.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look, our cousin Pookie gonna shout me out because she know what my favorite soundtrack to sex is.
What?
Mr. R. Kelly himself.
I was gonna say.
Timmy says "Steady Love" by Indy.
no.
Steady Love by
Listen.
Indy
Marie. Yeah, I like her
I
too.
love. I like R. Kelly. I separated the man from his
I'm not-
music, but I like.
This is what I kudos chose Beverly. I
Yes.
love his music
Mommy
too.
did
Yes,
too.
I
Mommy
do.
loved
I
R.
say
Kelly.
Luther.
Yeah. I go with Luther too. I like Luther.
I like Luther.
Luther got a song that say Michelle. Y'all gotta listen to it.
Does it?
Yes.
You told us that
I told
before,
you, that's
Michelle,
the
too,
homework.
on the
Y'all
show.
ain't listen to it?
When we talked about music is lit, right?
Yes. And
All
y'all
right,
still ain't
ladies and
listen to
gentlemen.
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we unpacked a lot tonight.
Yes,
If you
yes.
didn't get it all, go back and listen
Yes.
and
Listen,
look
thank
at the
you,
tape.
Beverly.
We love you all. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining us. Don't
Tasha.
forget,
Thank you,
click
Brett.
and subscribe. We will see you next week with some more juicy topics and some more conversation. We love you.
When